There has been an explosion in the demand for personal launch monitors, particularly in the last 12 months, as people have had more time and desire than ever to hone their craft. With the Garmin R10, you'll get capabilities beyond what most of us mere mortals would ever use or understand, but for a fraction of the cost of most of the others. All in a unit that sits neatly in the palm of your hand and is ready to go in seconds. But it's not just about what it is, it's what you do with it that counts, isn't it?
So Kipper, we know what the Garmin R10 can do.
Yes.
But in theory. But the key is, how do we get the most out of it? How do we squeeze every ounce of this for the average player like, well, shooter?
No, I think you're right, mate. I think that's what's missing when buying a launch monitor. Everyone just wants one,
Yeah.
and there's lots of them, but it's really how to use it and what to get from it. And this thing does, I think, 3 things better than any launch monitor near its price point that I've ever seen. It measures 3 parameters around impact.
Yeah.
And really, impact is the game of golf. You can do whatever you want up here and whatever you want around there.
Yeah.
But 6 inches either side of the ball, you need to know your attack angle. That's your angle of descent into the ball.
Yeah.
You need to know your club path, and you need to know the face. And if you've got those 3 kind of, I guess, parameters understood for your swing dynamics, you can train properly.
Well, why don't you give one a hit and let's go through some of the numbers.
Yeah, so first one I'll talk about is quite simply club path. Okay, so I'll cut the ears off this one, swing left to right. Okay, so what sort of path you got me there on, Philip?
What sort of path do you think I've got you on there?
Ooh, I reckon that'll be close to 11 degrees out in.
Okay, 9.3.
Ooh, close.
Yeah, that's okay.
and-
It's not a test.
And the thing about understanding that, right, is that if your swing dynamic is, let's call it as abrasive as that, 9 or so degrees across, most great players around the world are 5 degrees or better, into out or out to win, okay? So once you start to get above 5, right, you're gonna have a curving ball flight one way or another. So what an individual can do using this machine is just get to know their DNA and try to work as hard as they can to getting inside of 5 degrees one way or another, and then you've got a shot shape to rely on, or be as good as you and just zero everything out.
That's right. Yeah. Just 0. I am a 0.
Number 2 is club face.
Yep.
Now, when hitting an iron, and I'll hit this one, I'll try to hit it straight, which is the hardest shot in golf.
Yeah, well, it is for you.
Oh, I reckon my face was maybe 1.2 degree open. What have I got?
0.2 open.
So it's close, right? But I guess the understanding that face is king, I think from the biggest change that's been since launch monitors have been developed is that we now know that with an iron, 75% of the flight is dictated by the face. So if you've got any kind of control around your club face, you're going to become quite a good player.
Yeah.
So what most people do when they're using, I guess, any launch monitor is just look for pace, how fast they're hitting it, you included.
Yeah, any pace.
Yeah, exactly right. But no one looks at their consistency in club face. They certainly don't look at it from shot in and shot in and shot in and shot in, which is all an elite player does. They work on, face to path being the most probably looked at element on a launch monitor.
Right.
Because if you're an out to in player that plays a fade, you can still basically have a square club at impact and produce pretty much a straight shot.
Yep.
Same with an in to out player, square face at impact. So that's the second thing this thing does.
And this does both face to path and club face.
And for those that don't know what face to path is, basically if you swing aggressively across the ball, maybe 10 degrees, but your face is facing towards the target, right, but you're swinging this way, your face will be to path, open by 10 degrees, which is what gets the huge ball flight. Whereas most pros try to work at being a pretty square to path player, which means their arc has to be pretty square to path as well. And that brings me to the third parameter around impact that is not talked about nearly enough, is angle of descent. The angle down, right, or angle of attack will be on that little
Minus
curve.
9.
Yeah, exactly right. For me, when I coach, most players that play off 20 and above have a really, really poor angle of attack, I suppose, average. Most of them will be level or up. So I'll do one here where I try to hit up on the ball. So I reckon that's probably 2.3 degree up, something like that.
Yeah, it was 1.5.
Yeah.
But you could clearly see almost that you flubbed it.
Exactly right.
Forcing it up.
Yeah, now I'm hitting off a perfect lie here, there, and I can afford to get kind of under and behind it. Put me in a poor lie, and all of a sudden that player that's got no angle of attack cannot hit the ball. You can't, because you can't compress it. So you're thinning everything or fatting everything. So to work on angle of attack is just king. Some of the little drills you can do is just walk forward and hit down on that ball so you've got that constant angle.
Minus 3.3.
Yeah. So this little machine can tell you, obviously club path and club face, but the one I'd be getting a lot of people to dial into is a consistent angle of attack.
All right, so Kipper, we've got those key metrics again that we want to work on, which are?
Impact, and that's impact. No, angle of attack, the club path and face.
And club face angle.
Which is impact.
Yes. And so from that point of view, does it deliver?
100% it does. And I cannot pump it up enough for that, because I've been screaming for a tool that does this for my clients at a price point they can get in on.
Okay, and if there was any weakness to it, what would that be?
Look, comparing it to $30,000 units, probably spin rate is an area, and also mile an hour ball speed might be 2 or 3 mile off here and there.
Yeah.
That's about it, to be honest. Like, so for me, it's a game changer, because it just brings a training tool to the people.
In a package that big?
You take it in your hand.